something absolutely massive just happened in the world of AI. I mean, a shift so fundamental, it's completely changing the rules for solo founders and builders. We're talking about the moment AI stopped being just a helpful assistant and became a true partner, an agent that can actually build things right alongside you. So let's dive into what happened.
You know this feeling, right? For years, this has been the reality for so many of us with an idea. Yeah, AI could help you write a function or fix a bug, but that chasm between getting a little code help and actually shipping a real, secure, scalable product that people would open their wallets for, it felt less like a gap and more like a giant canyon. So, let's set the scene. Before this big shift, so just a little while ago, even the most powerful AI tools like Claude Code were basically just productivity tools on steroids. They were amazing, don't get me wrong, but they could only help you do your work faster. They couldn't do the work for you. And this is the wall we're talking about, a huge, intimidating wall of complexity. For anyone who wasn't a seasoned developer, it wasn't just about learning to code. It was about everything else. You know, security, infrastructure, system architecture. These were the gatekeepers that kept so many brilliant ideas locked away. But then, January 2026 happened. And in the span of just 4 weeks, that's it, 1 month, that wall we just talked about, it didn't just get a few cracks in it. It came crumbling down. The speed of this change was, frankly, kind of breathtaking. It was this rapid-fire series of events. First, we got a super user-friendly interface for these new AI agents. Then, just days later, a new model dropped that let them tackle really long, complex tasks. But the real mind-blowing moment, that was when the AI was used to build the AI tool itself. I mean, think about that, a recursive leap in power. And all this was happening while the underlying tech got way, way more efficient. Look, this wasn't just another small step up. This was a completely different kind of thing. AI went from being a chat that suggests code to you to being an agent that actually has hands. It can go into your files, execute commands, run tests, and do the work. It's a total paradigm shift. So how in the world did AI get these hands? What's the secret sauce that makes all of this possible? Well, it all boils down to this core concept, this new way of operating that is a huge leap forward. It's called the agent loop. And this is not the simple back and forth you're used to with a chatbot. It's a continuous cycle. The AI makes a plan, it acts on that plan, it checks the results, and then it learns from those results to figure out what to do next. It's like it went from being a call center rep to a full-on project manager. So in practice, it looks like this. The agent makes a plan. It starts executing the steps. And here's the crazy part. It checks its own work for bugs or errors. If it gets stuck, it actually asks you for clarification, and then it iterates over and over, refining its approach based on the results. This isn't just autocomplete. This is orchestration. And what this all leads to is this incredible new way of working that people are calling vibe coding. As the founder, you get to focus on the vibe, the high-level business logic, the what and the why. You just describe your goals in plain English, and the agent takes that intent and handles all the messy implementation details. So, what does this actually unlock for a solo builder like you? Well, it means the AI is working directly in your files, on your machine. It remembers the context of your project, which makes long-term maintenance suddenly possible. You get this amazing safety net with checkpointing, so you can instantly roll back any changes. You can even spin up little specialist sub-agents to focus on things like security or database performance. It's wild. Okay, but, and this is a really big but, with all this incredible new power comes a brand new, very dangerous problem. Just because you can now build literally anything you can imagine doesn't mean you should. And this is what we're calling the validation trap. And this question is at the very heart of the trap. We can build at lightning speed now, sure. But are we actually building better products? Or are we just building the wrong things faster than ever before? Think about it like this. Speed just amplifies whatever direction you're already pointed in. If you're heading toward a real solution for a real problem, amazing. You'll get there faster. But if you're building something nobody actually needs or wants, well, all this new power does is help you accelerate straight to failure. Because the timeless, and let's be honest, kind of boring, rules of building a great product still apply, 100%. You still have to validate that the problem is real. You have to make sure you can even reach the people who have it. AI is not a shortcut around these fundamental steps. The trap is that everyone wants to jump straight to number 4, build, and that's where things go wrong. So, to help you avoid that trap, we're going to walk through a solution, a simple framework to act as your compass. It's called the 7 Gates Framework, and it's a set of questions you have to answer before you let an AI write a single line of code. Gate number 1 is the frequency test. The question you have to ask is simple. Is this a problem you just think exists, or is it some friction you have personally seen with your own eyes multiple times in the last month? This is all about grounding your idea in reality, not fantasy. Gate 2, the specificity filter. This forces you to get super concrete. Can you describe one specific person in one specific moment really struggling with this problem? If you can't paint that vivid picture, then the problem you're trying to solve is probably still too vague. Okay, Gate 3, the urgency test. This one's huge. If a problem is really painful, people are already trying to solve it, even if their solution is terrible. You know, they're using a messy spreadsheet or a clunky workaround. You need to find that duct tape solution they're using right now. That's your proof that the problem is urgent. Next up, the proximity check. You have to be close to the problem. You can't solve it from a distance. So have you felt this pain yourself, or are you talking to the people who have it every single day? If not, you're just guessing. Gate 5 is about being brutally honest about the competition. Is there already a solution that gets people 90% of the way there? Could someone solve this just by stitching a few existing tools together? You have to be looking for a real, meaningful gap, not just a tiny improvement. This one is so critical for solo builders. Scope, trap, prevention. You have to avoid building something that only works if 1,000 people are using it. So the question is, can a single person get real, tangible value from your product all by themselves in their very first session? And finally, Gate 7. This brings it all together and sets a clear, actionable bar. Can you use this powerful new AI to build a dead simple prototype in just 48 hours? And can you get it in front of at least 3 real humans for feedback? This forces you to focus on a minimum viable test, not a minimum viable product. So look, the power to build is here. It's no longer the bottleneck. The real question now is how we use it. Is this new era going to create the first wave of billion-dollar solo founders? Or is it just going to create thousands of startups that fail faster and more spectacularly than ever before? It seems like now more than ever, direction is way more important than speed.